what happened to games coming out and being ready right when they're released? As soon as they're released, they're ready to play, and the developers know when it's done, it is done. Nowadays, it seems like people are just releasing games, and whatever's out the door is whatever's out the door, and we'll patch it later. What do you guys think about patches? It seems like a cheap way out of, throwing your game out there as soon as possible, and if something's wrong or if there's some issues with it, we'll just patch it later. To me, that's just phoning it in. It's, there's not really how you're supposed to do things. It sucks whenever you put a new game in, and as soon as you put it in, there's an update for it, and the game just came out that day. What sense does that make? That's telling me that you guys didn't spend enough time on your game perfecting it before you released it to the public. Do these guys test their games anymore? It sure doesn't seem like it to me. Another thing I wanted to talk about is what happened to all the content being on the game that you pay for right then? And what I mean by that is, what's up with all these microtransactions and all these, added game packs and downloadable content? Now, don't get me wrong, I like some downloadable content, but some stuff is just ridiculous. Why would you have to pay to have multiplayer on some of your games? What sense does that make? That's just charging people out the ass for nothing, for stuff that should already be on a game when you buy it the first time. Mega Man 2 has all this shit on the game when you buy it the first time. Now, granted, this is an old game, but still, I don't understand why they would charge you for extra stuff that should already be in the game to begin with. Now, I can understand that you're trying to expand the lifespan of a game or whatever, but, I spent probably a combined $100 on Borderlands just to buy the downloadable content. Now, I love Borderlands, don't get me wrong, but, that's just extra stuff that they put in the game, but some of these other games I just don't understand. Like, every month they'll add a new downloadable map, or new armor, or new weapons or whatever, and all this other crap. And it's just like, why? Why isn't all this stuff in the game to begin with? It's just, they're charging you out the ass, and I don't understand. People are greedy nowadays. They don't. Once you release a game, everything should be on that game and ready to go. Ready to go. What you pay for, that $50 or $60, that's what you should get, everything for that money. And instead, you end up paying more than $60, maybe $70, $80, $100, just for, to add extra multiplayer maps and all this other garbage that should have been on the game to begin with, and just doesn't make any sense to me. Downloadable songs, like on the rhythm music games, I know the genre's kind of dead now, thank God, but I mean, if you're gonna download if you're gonna have extra games for download, then why do you even release a new game in the series? Why release a Rock Band 2 or a Rock Band 3? Why don't you just make one Rock Band game and keep releasing songs for it? I mean, because whoever has Rock Band 1, they could just stop making the songs for Rock Band 1 until you buy Rock Band 2 and you have to start buying them songs. Why not just make one music rhythm game and just keep releasing songs for it? Because that's all these sequels are anyway. Basically, that's all they are. It's just the same game with extra songs and different songs from the beginning. I mean, that doesn't make any sense to me either. Why? It's just more money that the game companies are trying to, rip out of our hands and out of our wallets. Now, thank goodness some games like Batman and the new Halo are putting in some downloadable vouchers to where you can get some free stuff, like you can play as Catwoman and get some Halo maps for Halo Reach. Thank goodness they're doing that, because otherwise the fans would probably, rip their guts out. But, all these downloadable maps and stuff, it just doesn't make any sense. Why are they charging us so much? And then, don't get me started with Capcom. I love Capcom, I do. I love their franchises, but some of the things they do is stupid. Why would they release 28 Marvel vs. Capcoms? Marvel vs. Capcom 6, Marvel vs. Capcom Super Awesome Ultimate Edition. Why would they release all those? I mean, why not just have all the... Fighting games are a big culprit of this. Why would they, make you pay for extra characters a month later? Why not just include them in the game? Why? Why would you not? I mean, why release all these extra Ultimate versus Capcoms and all this and that when you can just have a bunch of levels and a bunch of characters in the game from the beginning? Because these guys know from the beginning that they're going to release the characters later. They plan that shit out. They're going to release these characters later on and these maps later on at a price, because they know the fans will buy those characters and those maps and those extra things. And it's a really, really dirty thing. Why not just put all the characters in and say, hey, we're putting a bunch of characters in, putting a bunch of maps in, and that's it. That's what we get. You know, and we're not going to release another one until a year or 2 or 3 from now. Super Smash Bros. Melee. That has a crap load of characters. Back then they couldn't really update it or release downloadable content for it. But what you see is what you got. And that game is fucking amazing. It has a shitload of characters, shitload of maps, and a shitload of gameplay. Main point is, guys, what's up with all these microtransactions? You know, what's up with all these patches? I mean, when you release a game, it should be done, ready to go. No, fixing it later or charging people for extra stuff that should be in the game in the first place. What do you guys think? Let me know. Catch you guys later.